Welcome everyone. In this video, we are going to learn about structure. So what is a structure? Structure is a collection of variables that can be of different data types under a single name. So basically, we have already learned about arrays. So what is the difference between array and structure? In array, we can store elements which are having the same data type. Suppose we want to store some integers, store the roll numbers, okay, of 5 students suppose. So what is the data type of roll number? Integers. So we can use array to store the roll number. Now suppose I want to store the roll number and name of the student. Then what is the data type of name? Char. And what is the data type of roll number? Integer. So both these two datas are of different data types. I cannot store them under array, but I can use structure to store both the datas. So if our datas are having different data types, we can store them under a structure under a single name. So what is the syntax of structure? Struct, then you will write down the structure name. Struct is a keyword, then you will start the loop curly brace, then within this we will write down data type and member names. So we can, according to our need, we can have any members we want, and it will end with a semicolon. Let us see one example. Suppose I want to create a structure person. So I will write down struct, then I will write down my structure name. It is not necessary that this should be capital, you can write down small also. Then within curly brace, what are the datas that a person may have? He or she will be having one name, and this is the city number, and this is the salary. Just I'm randomly taking city number, you can take identity number also, anything you want. So if you see, all these datas are having different data types. Name is char, city number is integer, and salary is float, and it is ending with a semicolon. So this way you can create your structure. There are some ways in which you can create structure variables also. So there are two methods. In the first method, what you are going to do is that you are going to write down the structure. This structure you can write down outside main and also inside main. It is up to you. So after writing the structure, we need to create the structure variable. So if we are going to create it inside main, we are going to write down struct. Struct is the keyword. Then we need to write down the name of the structure. So here in my case, I am using the structure name person. So I will write down person. Then after that, I am going to write down the structure variable. So it can be A, B or person 1. It's up to you. Then after that, you need to give one semicolon. So this is one way of creating the structure variable. Let us see the second method. In the second method, we are going to write down the structure, everything like that. Instead of creating the structure variable inside the main, after closing the loop, here itself we are going to write down the structure variable, and it will end with a semicolon. So this is another way. So based on structure, we will be doing these programs. So first program is to display student record using structure. Another one is to display employee details using structure. So these two programs we will do using dev C++. Let's go to dev C++. So what will be the output of our program? We need to read and display the student record using structure. So what are the datas available in a student? So maybe enter name. So suppose some name, then enter what else? Roll number. So suppose roll number, then enter marks or percentage. Let it be percentage. Suppose. So maybe these are the three datas. So after entering the data, it should come name is Ram, roll number is 23, and percentage is 89.7. So these things, how you are going to read and display this data using structure. Normally we can do it without using structure also, but we want to do it using structure. So let's see how we are going to do it. So first we are going to write down hash include stdio.h. Now we can declare, as I have told, I can write my structure outside main also, inside main also. Let us write it outside main. So first I'm going to write down struct, then the name of my structure. So let it be student. So what are the datas? So here I'll have to write down the members. First one is name. Just give some random size. Then for roll number, integer. Then for percentage, float. Okay. So these are my data. So this will end with a semicolon. Now I will write down main. Now I want to declare my structure variable inside main. So what was the syntax? So first I will write down struct. Then I'm going to write down the name of my structure, which is student, and after that the structure variable, let it be a. That's it. Here I am not inside main, I am not going to declare the variables again, name, roll number, percentage, because it is already declared in the structure. So now I need to do what? I need to write down enter name. I need to read the data. So let us go and read the data now. I'll write down printf enter name. Now this is the part which you need to take care of. So what is the specifier for name? S, because it is a string. Now here I cannot write down directly name. Name is the name of my is the variable name that I'm using, but I cannot use it directly since it is a structure member. I need to use it. I can access these members using the structure variable. So what is the structure variable? A dot, then the name of the variable. I need to use it like this. So whenever I am going to refer to these or use these variables, I'll have to write down a dot. Here obviously since it is a string, so I'm not giving the ampersand. Now printf next is what? Next is enter roll number. Now for roll number, what is the specifier? Percentage D. Here I am going to give the ampersand a dot roll. Okay. Next is what? Printf enter percentage. Okay. So scanf, specifier for float is f, ampersand a dot, it already comes here, see, a dot per. Give the semicolon. So this part is over. These 3 lines are over. So now I need to display it. So for displaying, again what you are going to write down printf name is percentage s. Again you need to write a dot name. Printf I guess I'll give one white space character /n to come to the new line. Then printf roll number is percentage d, again /n. So what is my roll number? A dot roll. Then last one printf, what else? Percentage is percentage f, comma a dot per. That's it. So now I'm going to delete this part, save it, and then I'm going to run it. So enter name, you can give any name you want, roll number, percentage. So name is this, roll number is this, and percentage is this. Now what was the next program? To read and display the employee record. So employee record is also exactly same. So we will just make few modifications. So let the structure name be employee. Now what are the variables that an employee will have? Name, then maybe some ID it will have, and then maybe salary. So these are the changes. Now I will show you the other method of declaring the structure variable. In the previous program we did it here. So now let's see it how we can do it here. So here I am going to simply write down the name of my structure variable, let it be a. So enter name, so first 2 lines same, so enter ID. So instead of role it will be ID. Then what else? Enter salary. I'm modifying it in the same program. So here it will be salary. So I just need to modify here name, then ID and salary. That's it. We are good to go. So these are the modifications we did, and then just run and compile and run it. Name, let's change the name for a change. ID 7 and salary suppose 7,000. So it is coming like this. Okay. So this is how you can create the structure variable using the second method. Let us see what are the advantages of using structure. First one, structures gather more than one piece of data about the same subject together in the same place. It is very easy to maintain as we can represent the whole record by using a single name. In structure, we can pass complete set of records to any functions using a single parameter. You can use an array of structure to store more records with similar types. So these are the advantages of structure. Now we are going to learn about array of structures. When do we need array of structures? See, when a situation like this comes, suppose I want to display the student records of 50 students. Display the student, read and display the student records of 50 students. In just now we have learned how to create the student record of a single student. Now suppose we want to gather the name, then roll number and percentage of 50 students, then we need to use array of structure. So in this case, the structure variable that we will create, it is going to be of array type. So let's go to dev C++ and do it. So in this program, we need to read and display the records of 50 students. So here first I'll be writing hash include stdio.h. Then I'll create my structure. So what are the members? First of all, name, then roll number, and then percentage. So these were my data. So let us create the structure variable. Now I need to read and display records of 50 students. But in my example, I'm not going to write down 50 students because otherwise I'll have to enter records like enter name, roll number and percentage of 50 students, which will take a lot of time. So I'll just show you how to enter records of 3 students. So in your exam, if you get 50 students, you will write down 50 here. Okay, I'm just going to read and display the records of 3 students. So I'll write down main. Okay. So now I need to write down printf, enter. I'm going to write everything in the same line, name, roll number and percent. Okay, I'm going to write it in the same line. You can write 3 separate lines also. So what is the specifier for name? Percentage S. For roll number, percentage D. For percentage F. Okay, now for name, I am just going to write a.name. For roll number, a.roll, and for percentage, a.per. Okay, now I have read the data. Okay, now this is the see, though I have written it like this, I cannot use a. This is the I cannot write down a dot name because why? A is an array. So for that I need to use array now. Since the structure variable is an array, normally I would have written like this, but since it is a structure array structure member array, so here I'll have to use the for loop. So since we know that if we are going to use array, we need to use for loop. So for that we need to use one more variable I. So this part will come inside the for loop. How many you need to enter these records for how many students? 3 students. So you will write down like this. Loop will start. This part you are going to write inside the loop and this one. And what are the modifications you need to do? Here you cannot write down normal A because A is an array. So I will write down A of I. Similarly here A of I, here also A of I. So when the loop will run for I equal to 0, you will enter the records for the first student. When it will become 1, you will enter the records for the second student. When it will become 2, it will enter records for the third student. And when it will become 3, 3 is less than 3, so you will come out. Similarly, to display the records, what you are going to write down? You are going to write down the same thing. I will write it once again. So for displaying, again, I equal to 0, records of 3 students, I plus plus, here printf, name is percentage s, comma, A of I. So this is for the first student. Let us give one slash n. Then for the second student, I'll write the roll number of the second student. Roll number is percentage b slash n, comma, A of I dot roll. Then printf, last one is percentage. Percentage is percentage f slash n, comma, A of I dot. Okay. So these are the data. Just save it and let's run it and see how it works. So enter name, roll number, percentage. So 3 times it will come because I have given it, like, I have given the structure variable array as 3, right? The size is 3. So you enter whatever you want. Okay, so it is coming. The records of 3 students are coming. So in your exam, if you get to read and display the record of 50 students, you will give it 50. If 10, then you will give it 10 accordingly.